Hello and welcome to Analytical Fanboys. I am your host, the Vacuuminator, and I don't know why I'm talking this way, but I am joined, as always, by my co-host, the still uninfected Boingo Rider.
Bitch, I haven't been bitten yet.
Excellent. I am glad. Coronavirus has not gotten to either of us, at all. I think we're the only two dudes who are currently pretty much unaffected. Not even social distancing needs to be a thing for us yet. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it kind of can't be a thing. Because I'm
always socially distanced.
That is true. You're a big room boy, aren't you?
Not by choice.
And I have to move in a week from literally when we're recording this. So I probably will be moved by the time you people are hearing this episode. But I'm going to be going dark from the internet for about a month, which means either the podcast won't be happening for a month, or Chris will be carrying on with another host for a month. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it yet. It's completely up to him, and you don't even have to say right now what your decision is, bro. I just wanted to say on air for people to know if we go dark for a month.
Alright.
Anyways, let's not do too much more coronavirus talk, at least not until later in the episode for reasons. Because I think we pretty much covered all the general stuff we needed to cover on it last week. Just, wash your hands, don't touch each other too much, and, be nice. But let's get into this week's topic. Chris Gaston, will you please explain Batman Ninja?
No. You do it.
What?
Do it.
What? This was your. It was your pick, bro.
What did Batman do?
He went back in time.
What did Batman do?
He rode around in the Batmobile, which was also the Batwing, which was also a mech suit, but then it got broken.
What did the Joker do? Was the Joker there? Was the Joker there?
The Joker was there. He was kind of a crime lord, kind of like a shogun.
How many gorillas were there?
There were a lot of gorillas.
Ninjas? Were there ninjas?
There were certainly ninjas. Batman wasn't a ninja for most of it. He was kind of like a shogun samurai thing. I don't know why they called it Batman Ninja, because he's only Batman Ninja for a few minutes. But
how Japanese is this?
It's pretty Japanese, almost.
How Japanese?
Very, very Japanese, almost to the point where I would consider it not to be a Batman story, but, that's just my personal take.
Who else was there?
Well, the Penguin was there, Poison Ivy was there, Catwoman was there, pretty much every Batman ally, except for the female ones, unless you count Catwoman, was there. Alfred was there for some reason.
Did Robin have any friends?
Robin had a monkey friend, which made no sense. How many monkey friends? He had he had a lot of monkey friends, actually, now that I think about it. And
what did his hair look like?
His hair looked really weird. I don't know what they were even trying to go for there.
What about Red Hood? What did Red Hood look like?
Red Hood looked like the guy from Akiba Ranger who shows the Powerful Rangers comic in that one scene.
How many betrayals were there?
There were so many betrayals, I can't even count them.
So the Joker did shit, right? What did the Joker do?
The Joker did a lot of stuff, man. He did so much stuff.
What did Joker do?
He changed his. He killed himself, but it turned out he erased his and Harley's memories. But then it was a trick, and they're back and they're good guys, but they still end up getting captured at the end. What? This movie is nothing but stuff.
And scene.
So, legitimately, I didn't, let me just come out and say, I didn't hate this, but this is aggressively not for me.
But this is aggressively for me.
Oh, this is super fucking boingo core. To the point where I think of the evening I watched it, which was only 3 nights ago, as a bad dream. Like, I'm still trying to process parts of it. Like, what was that? Why did my subconscious come up with that? What does that mean? Did I eat too much ice cream before bed or something? Why?
So let's actually go through the plot of the movie so we can parse this out.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
It opens up in Gotham where Gorilla Grodd, noted mad scientist, and Gorilla, is making a device that does shit, and Batman's going like, oh no, not shit. And he ends up in feudal Japan, the Sengoku era.
So clearly this was made by Toei.
Oh, dude. There was an entire segment where they had straight up Toei tokusatsu explosions.
I know.
But basically, Batman's in Japan, everybody's freaking out, and he sees a wanted sign. It's like, oh, find the guy who looks like Batman. And it's like, oh shit, something's going on. And then a couple of samurai with Joker masks come in and start harassing him about. And
Which,
he goes,
genuinely, I will say, that was a cool design choice.
This movie is very much not a plot movie. It's not a character movie. It's
all about
this dope shit.
It's all about the aesthetic persona. And, I can get into that if it's an aesthetic persona I really gel with, but feudal Japan is just not my bag, bro.
And I genuinely love a lot of these character designs. They're so fantastic.
Okay.
Sengoku Batman's the best.
All right.
I fucking love Sengoku Batman. It's great. But they're in feudal Japan. Batman goes like, this is bullshit. And he storms the castle and basically confronts the Joker. And the Joker goes like, yeah, man, what's up? Shit's been going down. I'm in control of the territory now. Wacky, isn't it? Kill him.
Can I pause for a rant here?
Yes.
So, I think the voice actor on Joker in this did a good job. He's clearly not the best Joker ever, but he did a really good job with what he was given. I hate the way this Joker is written. This did not feel like Joker to me at all. This felt like a character that was just being wacky for the sake of wacky and not the Joker wherever. In my mind, the Joker is the kind of character that does things very specifically because they're demented, but also funny. This was just like, lol, I'm random. Also, this Harley Quinn was shit just because I can't stand Tara Strong as Harley Quinn.
Okay, I can get that. But, great design for Harley Quinn, though.
That was pretty okay.
Real quick, a lot of the women's designs that they had, Poison, Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley, cute as fuck designs.
Also, very clearly made to sell statues.
Oh, yes, very much so. Okay. You know how Bandai has, those samurai Star Wars toys?
Oh, yeah. This whole thing very much feels like DC Direct went, hey, we're working on a line of Batman characters where they're samurai. Could you maybe do something with that? And Bruce Timm, who's just totally checked out now, is like, yeah, sure, what the fuck ever. Somebody make a script.
Get some weeb on it. And the weeb goes like, we're doing Batmans and ninjas?
Finally. Because here's the thing. The title Batman Ninja inherently is great to me. Because I am one of those people who thinks of Batman as a ninja. A lot of his martial arts training was stuff that people would have to do to become proficient on the level that ninjas are legendarily. And in a lot of comics, at least up until very recently, his action was always kind of blocked as very ninja-esque. However, this is much more of a samurai type thing, and that kind of upset me. Like, he's leading a ninja clan, but the action is very much more like what you'd see in a samurai film.
It's ninjas by way of samurai movies, which are always a little bit more heightened.
Also, I hate the story idea of Batman has gotten too reliant on his technology and he needs to reconnect with his body. Like, I always hate that because I don't see Batman as the kind of person who could get to that point.
To me, it was in this movie. It was much more of like I'm relying too much on technology. It's just like we don't have the resources to continue relying on it. We need to like play with the cards we're dealt with. It's less the technology is holding me back, and it's more the technology is there, but once it's gone, and we need to make sure we have secondary plans, and that was the ninja stuff.
Okay, because, see, I read that scene as he tries all the tricks the Batmobile has available to it, and that didn't work, and, we could have a cool, like, steampunk thing of him rebuilding the Batmobile with technology from that era, but that's stupid. He tried it once, it's not going to work a second time, so now he's going to try something else of trying to reconnect with his body because he was stupid to try that in the first place. And I'm like, that was the best tool he had available to him. Of course he was going to try that in the first place. It's basically God moding anyone in this era until you realize somebody in this era has a giant mechanized castle.
Right, so let's continue on that. Continue on the explanation. He runs away from the Joker, and he runs into Catwoman, who basically says, yeah, all of us have been kind of popping in at different times. I've been here for about 2 years. And they figure, okay. And she goes like, yeah, so Joker's in charge. We need to figure out a way to fix this. And Batman goes like, yeah. And Catwoman goes like, hey, come this way. And they go meet up Alfred, who has a top knot. And it's hilarious. And
also, I know that the sidekicks were all working with this ninja clan and that Catwoman knew about it. But what the hell was she doing for 2 years?
I don't want to say it this way because her first appearance in the kimono and the veil made it look very geisha-like.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the only thing I can think of is she was running a brothel.
And, like, here's the thing about geishas. It's not like geisha is equivalent to prostitute. Yeah, they did do sexual shit, but, like, there were also, like, performers and bards in a way, and Japanese stuff. So, like, saying she's a geisha isn't like saying, oh, she was a prostitute. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, but, like, that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, same here. I just wanted to bring that up. I wasn't trying to be like, so Catwoman just got paid to do stuff for 2 years. It was more a thing of like, this is weird that they threw that in there to this like well-established comic book character who at the time of this movie's release had just gotten engaged to Batman.
It is a great character. All the character designs are fantastic. I love them.
I like her character design, I'll say that.
But basically, Batman gets his Batmobile and goes like, all right, I'm going to go fuck up the Joker so we can figure this shit out. He goes, tries to beat the Joker, but the Joker goes like, nah, this is Japan. We have giant robots. And so, giant robot battle, Batmobile, the whole 9 yards. Batmobile gets destroyed because Batman wasn't prepared. And he goes into hiding. Bat ninjas come in, and they go like, hey, you're our prophesized chosen one who's going to come and lead us to a stabilized Japan. And he's like, okay, I will use your help right now. He goes to Gorilla Grodd because he is up in the mountains relaxing in a hot tub.
As you do.
That's a common trope in like anime and manga is like apes and monkeys love hot tubs.
Yeah.
But it's just cool that they're playing with it with American characters. It's fun.
Also, you said every design in this movie is great. I would just like to counter that with sumo wrestler Bane.
Fuck you, that's fantastic. It's the best thing ever.
It's so ugly. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Dude, the Venom being replaced with the traditional sumo bow. It's like
I get the idea, but like,
It's so good. I just wish there were more shit like that. give me a Kabuki Riddler.
That could be cool.
Give me a Kabuki Riddler. Oh man. Oh, give me one of those. There's some weird Japanese puppetry. Give me one of those of ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That I'm into. But just like I don't like those two aesthetics put together at all. Sorry.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Like it's an extremely hit or miss movie for me, character design wise.
Ah, man. But basically, he goes to Gorilla God, and Gorilla God goes like, "Hey, I want to get back home too, and you're smart. We can do this." Ha-ta-ta. So they go on a boat. They fight the Joker in his big boat, and then Gorilla God basically goes like, psych, Batman. I'm working with Two-Face. We're just gonna rule Japan."
I did like Two-Face's design. That was pretty good.
Two-Face's design is great, and his mech was fantastic.
I don't know if I agree with that. It took me a minute to get my head around it.
Once you see the face change, it makes total sense. We'll explain that in a second. But basically, Batman goes back to the Ninja Clan and goes like, all right, cool. We don't have any more technology. Shit's gone whack. I'm a ninja now. We're just going to be full-on Ninja Clan for like a month. And then Robin comes in and goes like, hey, Red Hood found Joker and Harley, and you get this beautifully animated segment of Harley and the Joker being peasant Japanese farmers, and Red Hood coming in going like, bitch, I know you, fuck you, and just beating the shit out of them. And they're going like, why are you doing this, man? Because also, here's the thing, Red Hood was dressed as a monk.
It was so fucking weird. Just because, like, the entire rest of the movie feels like JoJo. This felt like something out of, oh god, who's a creator I can pull?
Lone Wolf and Cub?
Yeah, it felt like Lone Wolf and Cub big time. And it was just such a harsh tonal shift.
Right after you got those quick montage of ninja lore where all the Robins are drawn as Bishonens. It's beautiful anime boys.
What the
But Batman comes in and basically goes like, no, the Joker and Harley aren't the same people they were before. Let's just leave them be, and when we head back home, we'll just pick them back up.
Also, I love how this movie seems to get that Red Hood is a very different character from the others. But nah, dog. Tim and Damien, they're just like carbon copies of Dick, right? Except at different ages. That's totally a thing.
Yeah, I get that, but like the
only thing they kept of Damien from the comics is that he likes animals.
I mean, they didn't have like, if this was a 13-episode anime, yeah, I can understand that being a big problem, but seeing as it's like one movie and they had to keep the pace up and it's mostly about aesthetics anyway, it's fine.
Also, I'm looking at a screenshot right now, and I missed this when I was watching the movie, but all of their fucking horses wear domino masks!
It's perfect! It's the best! It's so good. It's like, here's the thing. They're in feudal Japan. Who's going to recognize them? They all have domino masks on.
Like, this movie is so insanely stupid, but in a very enjoyable way.
Okay. Basically, all the daimyos, who are all Batman villains, go like, all right, we're going to have a fucking war in our giant castle mechs. And you have Poison Ivy, Penguin, Deathstroke, Two-Face, and Gorilla Grodd, all in giant robots, all fighting each other.
That then combine and then fight a giant monkey made out of smaller monkeys.
With the combination of bats
becomes first appearance Batman, except no purple gloves, because
No, not first appearance Batman. First version of manga Batman.
Oh, that's what that was?
That was manga Batman.
Okay, I know manga Batman is a thing. I didn't realize that's what they were doing there. That lightens that scene up a whole lot more for me, because I was like, oh, it's first appearance Batman. Where's the purple gloves? Where are the fucking purple gloves?
It was first manga Batman. That's why he's all grayscale, because it's black and white comic.
Okay.
But basically...
Oh, go ahead.
No, just continue, because it gets insane. The reason... But then all of a sudden Joker comes up and goes like, hey, by the way, those flowers we were farming, they had a smell that reactivated our memories and brought us back. So we're just going to take over the mech and take over Japan now. And then a fight scene happens.
As it does.
And it's super fucking anime.
It is. It is anime to the point of where I'm like, brah, chill out. Brah.
Batman does the full, like, Batman and Joker do the full, like, we're both punching at each other, screaming with all of our heart passion. It's so good. So good.
I think my biggest hurdle to get over with this movie is I was expecting it to be the characters that I know stuck in feudal Japan, but it's just an excuse to have feudal Japan versions of those characters. Because, in my opinion, from the perspective of these are the comic book characters, everyone is acting wildly out of character. However, from the perspective of this is just what these characters would be like if they were inherently Japanese and they were based in the feudal era, yeah, it's all pretty good.
Honestly, they went from design and had to basically go back and make a movie from it.
Yeah.
That's all they did. It's just like, let's just put Batman in fucking samurai gear and Joker in samurai, like make them all feudal Japanese.
Also, let us not forget that this is not the first time they've done something like this. You remember Batman Gotham Knights? Remember that shit? Remember that fucking what was it? I'm trying to remember the name of the manga. Death Note looking shit?
Yeah. Fucking great.
Like, literally, you can look at these two movies and just... They are perfect examples of where the public perception of anime was like 10, 15 years ago and where it is right now.
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, take anime seriously. It's art, man. Right now, anime is anime as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I loved it. Oh, yeah, by the way, they also get back into their regular time, and Batman just drives around in a horse-drawn Japanese style carriage that bumps a car off the road.
Insanity.
There's a thing I love. Like, there are pieces of media that are just purely built on hype of just going like, that's a fucking cool segment. This is one of those. JoJo is another. Gurren Lagann is another.
Also, another thing we almost forgot to talk about with this movie. Deathstroke is in this, literally just to talk about how much he loves guns and then get jobbed out to a monkey.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, a lot of it's like that. Like, Penguin barely has anything to do. Poison Ivy barely has anything to do. Genuinely, I think if this was like a 6-episode anime, a 12-episode anime, it would have been 10 times better. Because then you could have explored... You could explore all the different Bat Kids. You could explore Batman retraining in the ninja way for like an episode, and that be like a badass segment.
Mm-hmm.
Gorilla Grodd in the political sphere, and he just had this full-on political drama for an episode, but it's with a giant talking gorilla.
Bro, I legit thought for a minute before I remembered it was a movie that they were going to have like little mini arcs of him having to defeat each of the Dios.
Like, honest to God, I want them to like just take these character designs, do it, just give me more.
Tell me more, like, where the hell was Batgirl?
Batgirl would have been cool, like, have her own missions, that kind of thing.
Like, imagine just having Batgirl, Spoiler, Orphan, and Batwoman in here. Or having, like, a team of Kunoichi running around doing shit. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. And just imagine, like, Scarecrow being dressed up like a yokai.
Ooh, I could be down for that.
Oh, man. There's so many dope shit you could do. And it also makes me wonder, like, oh, man, just imagine, like, a sequel of the Justice League.
What an insane proof of concept this is.
Imagine the Green Lantern with a paper Japanese lantern.
Oh, that would legit be cool.
With, like, the full, like, straw hat and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There is
so
a Chinese Green Lantern now. You could do that.
Oh, yeah. It's just, there's so much dope shit in this movie. The only thing that holds it back for me is the music is a little lackluster. It could have went full on bombastic anime, but it was more reserved, and it was like, come on. Give me the giant fucking Kamen Rider horns.
You know what? Hard agree.
Give me the fucking Godzilla. Dun 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 kind of stuff, man. Maybe because we watched the English dub. Maybe it's in the Japanese dub.
It's entirely possible.
And I'm very tempted to watch a Japanese dub tomorrow.
Yeah, because from what I hear, the Japanese version is like almost completely different script-wise.
And maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe I can like next week, well, not next week, the week after, I can just go like, hey, by the way, this is what the Japanese was like. But
yeah,
animation
we reconvene, we should get into that.
The animation was pretty good. It was all 3D anime, but it was like pretty solid 3D anime.
Yeah, like I said, it's very JoJo-esque, which isn't exactly my bag, but it was pretty good at doing that most of the time. I did notice some parts where the frame rate really lagged, but it was only occasionally.
And every once in a while, when they wanted to have a really nice segment, they animated it in like traditional 2D.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly like the one that really sticks out in my head is the one of Catwoman pawning something off and just getting a drink. It's just like, we want to make her look really cute. Also, one of the most adorable things is when Batman was coming up to the castle in the Batmobile, and Joker and Harley was showing the Joker what was going on, and she goes like, "As you can see in this puppet show."
Ridiculous. I was still in culture shock at that point, so I was like, "What?" I mean, I understand the reference, but what?
Oh man. There's just so much good shit. Like, I just want every superhero to have, like, we're in feudal Japan movie. Imagine Spider-Man in feudal Japan.
Well, I might be able to help you with that. Have you heard of a company called Toei Company Ltd?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, there is a Figma of Catgirl from this movie. Catwoman.
A lot of pictures of it have shown up in the Google image search. I've been scrolling for while we've been talking. It looks like a decent figure. Honestly, I do like that design, so I may pick up that Figma one day. Maybe one day.
Like, there's so many great designs. I love all the designs in this movie. Joker's great because he looks like a pompous asshole. Gorilla Grodd looks great in his, like, monk-like shonen gear.
Mm-hmm.
Shogun gear. Oh man, Two-Face was great. I loved his mech. All the mechs were pretty good. They weren't like traditional like two-legged Gundam mechs. They were more like American battle mechs.
They were weird. They took a minute to get your head around.
Oh yeah, because it's mostly like a house and then robot parts on top of it, except for Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
Who his mech was a giant golden Buddha statue that when he flips his coin and turns disloyal and like the other side, the face changes to an Oni.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Batman Ninja.
I experienced Batman Ninja.
And honestly, for hardcore Boingo titles, I think that's the best we can do.
Yeah. At least it wasn't a back.
At least it wasn't back.
That's the catchphrase of this show ever since that episode. At least it wasn't back.
I just need to find more Boingo core shit and just subject you to it until you finally start getting the hype.
I'm sure one day you will come around and delete me and make me obsolete, and then I'll be broken like you.
No, man. I'm not broken. I'm whole.
Oh my god, you're the wholesome Boingo rider.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, that's about a half hour to podcast, and we were pretty much done anyway. So since we're kind of transitioning into it, MMWP, everybody. You're all wrong. Matt Hardy teleporting was awesome.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Undertaker has been doing this for goddamn years. Matt Hardy does it without turning off the lights. And all of a sudden you're going like, it's hokey. Bullshit.
Cowards. All of you. All of you!
Jericho was having an argument with a fucking drone right before this. Fuck you.
It was hilarious, and also he yelled at his Roomba the day of this recording.
Yes, perfect. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But this is definitely, we're in the filler arc.
Yeah, everyone kind of is. Even with it being fucking a week till WrestleMania, shit's so haywire right now because of Steve Corino. Watch Wrestle Talk if you don't understand that reference. But it's tough, and I don't know if you saw the news, but because of his immune system, Roman Reigns pulled out of WrestleMania.
And honest to God, I'm glad that Roman Reigns did.
Yeah, and apparently he made the choice. Everyone was pushing him to go ahead and do it, and he finally made the call and like just told Vince, "I'm not doing it."
And he's also Roman, so he's a golden child, so he's not going to get hurt from it.
Mm-hmm. But also, and I've been heading in this direction a lot lately. Fuck you, WWE. Don't push someone with a weak immune system to wrestle right now.
Yeah, especially with like two of your biggest stars have that kind of problem, with Roman Reigns having history of leukemia and Daniel Bryan having an autoimmune disorder.
Mm-hmm. Like we had the Brody Lee thing this week, and he was also on Jericho's podcast today, and Matt was on Jericho's podcast last week, and also the Chris Benoit episodes of Dark Side of the Ring came out this week. So I'm kind of in full on a Vince McMahon is a jackass mood.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Brody Lee, he had a really good segment, and people were going like, "Oh, is this just all a Vince McMahon reference?"
There's people who are like that, and then there's people who are really into it. And I think it's safe to say we're both really into it.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. People are going like, oh, he reacted to the sneeze. Is the Exalted One just a Vince McMahon joke? Like, no.
Kind of.
No, here's the thing. Brody Lee is taking elements of people abusing power and being power hungry and using it in his character portrayal.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. It kind of is, but it's also it's not just meant to be like the Exalted One isn't running a wrestling organization. He's running a mafia, but the difference is the mafia front isn't a restaurant, it's a cult. It's
also a cult because he uses that to keep the people in line.
Like, I get the feeling Alex Reynolds and John Silver genuinely thought they had joined a cult until they were called to that dinner. And that's part of why they're so freaked out. They're like, oh shit, we got in with the mob.
But it's also like, it is still pretty culty, because here's the thing. That's a major tactic in cults of the leader eats while everyone else watches.
Yeah. I've also heard from some people that, like, it gave them serious Charles Manson vibes, which...
That's the thing Charles Manson did.
I know very little about Charles Manson, but I'll take everyone's word for it. I know who he is. I know what he did that got him in the public eye. I just don't...
You watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, that's literally all I've ever done to look into him, and honestly, I don't care to do more. But where was I going? I was going somewhere. Oh yeah, people have been going like, oh god, they're rebooting the Dark Order again. Now it's a mob. I thought it was a cult. I thought it was a goofy tag team. What is this? Are they ever actually going to stick to something with these people? Guys, think back a month and a fucking half. You remember that vignette where the PSA Join the Dark Order recruitment ad guy was talking to the Exalted One and going like, these are our prime targets. This is where they're at. This is why we think we can recruit them and that they'd be valuable to us. Where was that? Where did that take place? It took place in an office, and the Exalted One was portrayed as a man sitting in a high-back chair, probably in a suit. I don't think this is very far off from what they were doing there. Now, and given honestly, at the time, they were probably planning it for it to be Marty, but who cares at this point?
But also, that's kind of what cult leaders are like.
Mm-hmm.
Like 90% of cult leaders are charlatans and they don't believe the shit they're spewing. It's very much, come give me power.
Yeah.
And that's what Brody Lee is portraying it as. It's like, no. Fuck them. We're powerful. Do what the fuck you want. Do it. But when he's doing promos to the audience, it's like, no, I'm the Exalted One. What, you don't believe in me? He's playing the character, and it's a good one.
It's hashtag good S word, and I'm excited to see where it goes, even if it is in filler arc mode. And just to go back to it for a quick second, I really, even though people were like, oh, they were just stretching for time, I did enjoy the promo off between Matt and Chris, just because it was such a great character examination between the two of them. And I loved how kind of carny Jericho came off in that promo. Like, he really felt like this guy who was trying to bargain with the devil. Like, I'm trying very desperately to make this deal with this power I don't even comprehend. Like, it almost reminded me of Loki in the beginning of Infinity War when he's trying to bargain with Thanos. It's just like, oh, sweetie, I understand, but you go and die for this.
Yeah, he's going like, I know you, Matt. How long have we... Come on, Matt.
I'm not Matt. I'm Damascus. And how fucking good was my boy on this show? Like, Cody had a banger opening match, and he was great on commentary.
Yeah, and he didn't fall into his habits that they made fun of right before the episode with the drinking game.
Oh, I was so ready for that. I was actually kind of miffed that they didn't play into it more. But seriously, though, his commentary was great. I love that, like, he made no bones about it. He just straight up turned to Tony Schiavone the moment the bell rang and went, hey, doesn't Darby Allin remind you of Sting?
Yeah, no, he was very much playing that Jim Ross, remember all this old shit kind of character?
Yeah, because that's the kind of guy Cody is. He's super into, like, 80s and early 90s wrestling, and he makes no bones about it. I love it.
And he's also, like, giving, like, people who may be watching, like, older people, is like, hey, you remember Sting? We got a guy who's kind of like Sting. Maybe you might be interested in him.
Mm-hmm. And, Yeah, it was just good times. I'll admit I didn't like a lot of the middle of the show. Like some of the matches I thought were a bit weak. I honestly couldn't get into Kenny versus Sammy. But and I think the fact that they couldn't have a crowd wrestlers out in the crowd this week did hamper it quite a bit, especially because they tried to make up for that with people in the back room that they kept cutting away to, but also piping the audio in from. At times it felt like crowd dubbing to me. Like it clearly wasn't that, but it gave me that vibe, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, it to me it did help, and it was like basically the best that they could do, and I understand that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I don't like this, but I understand why it's here, and I'm giving you a mulligan for it.
Yeah.
Conversely, they're not playing around anymore. WWE is just straight up gone. Yeah, Triple H is Johnny and Tommaso's dad.
boys.
Do not touch him. No, get in this ring and be good and listen to me. Okay? You guys want a match? When do you want the match? All right, I'm gonna get you a building.
I mean, Ciampa does look a lot like Triple H.
Oh, dude, it was almost uncanny valley how much they looked like each other during this promo, because they're standing right next to each other, and I'm like, oh my god, you literally look like you're his son.
Okay, I just want you to picture in your head right now. Imagine Johnny Gargano standing right next to Stephanie McMahon.
Yes.
He takes after their mother.
They could so do that in kayfabe, and everybody would get pissed. I'd be fine with it.
It'd be hilarious and perfect.
Mm-hmm. Also, given the fact that they're booking this as, and WWE says shit like this and then doesn't do it all the time, but they're saying like this is going to be the end of Tommaso versus Ciampa, or I always do that fuck up. I'm sorry. Tommaso versus Gargano. That's going to end here.
It's because you say the first name of Tommaso Ciampa and the last name of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. But I would really like, and I know it was just a tease on Twitter, but honestly, I'm still jonesing for it. Now that this is done, let's have Johnny and Tommaso be separated for a little while, and then maybe start being friends again around this time next year, and then let's just fucking do it. DX versus DIY double retirement match for Shawn and Trips at the next Mania.
I can see that. Also, in the meantime, have a Triple H on a pole match.
Yes. And the rest of NXT basically doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, like a lot of WWE is just like, what's going on here? Now AEW's in that too, but like,
yeah, we're going for the motions, and it's understandable. And at least it's still interesting. At least there's still fun stuff to talk about, like the way they shot the interview with Charlie Caruso and flipping Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler looked like she was Andre the Giant's daughter. No,
Shayna Baszler's older than Beth Phoenix.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I think of her as being like a little older than the both of us, and we're early 20s.
Yeah, no, she's like in her 40s.
Damn, she looks really good for her 40s.
Yeah.
And flipping.
I mean, Asuka's in her like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, well, she's Asian. You kind of expect that. Like, that's not a racism. Literally, all Asians look amazing until they hit 80, and then they look like they're on death's door.
I mean, pretty much every race besides white people look pretty good for most of their life. It's white people that just look like shit at 40.
Good point. Like that. Like, that's not a racism. Literally, all Asians look amazing until they hit 80, and then they look like they're on death's door.
I mean, pretty much every race besides white people look pretty good for most of their life. It's white people that just look like shit at 40.
Good point.
Everyone else was like, yeah, no, I'm 50. You look like you're 20. No, I'm 30. You look like you're 60. When you're talking to a white dude.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, everybody thought I was mid-20s. Now everybody thinks I'm early 30s. It's weird.
Dude, here's the thing. My friend dresses up full on 80s metal, Iron Maiden t-shirts all the time, denim vests, shirts, Hawaiian dad shirts all of the time. And he was starting to bald last year of high school, noticeably thinned hair. So since the last year of high school, 2012, he has looked like a 40-year-old middle-aged stepdad.
Wow. That's rough.
Yep.
God. I will also say, though, on Raw, I really enjoyed the Randy Orton and Seth Rollins promos. Those were great heel promos. And you know what? Credits to Steve Corino. He's gotten me to watch all of WWE's shows again. Just because I'm fascinated by how they're handling things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're all pre-recorded by this point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next few weeks play out. Especially with is it just where the Performance Center is, or is all of Florida under total lockdown now?
I have not heard word of total Florida, but it's probably Orlando, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, big city places probably are.
Okay. But yeah, that's a whole thing, and unfortunately, there's no NWA to talk about because NWA ran out of content literally right as coronavirus started hitting, and they had tapings set for the next week. So they're just straight up on hiatus right now, which really sucks because the Crockett Cup was about to happen, and it was going to be the first event since Power started in an arena. And now it looks like Crockett Cup is delayed indefinitely. I really feel for all the NWA people right now. I'm glad they're getting some big exposure on Van Vliet. So this is something I meant to ask you about before the recording, but he's typing something.
No, I just put something in the box so we can send it in a minute.
Okay, this is something I meant to ask you about before the recording, but I forgot because I'm stupid. Do we want to go ahead and select a topic for the next episode? Or do we want to wait and just decide on one when I'm available to record again? Because it may be up to a month before that happens, and I might just forget.
Here's what I'll say. Why don't we do it now so the people who are listening can look forward to whatever we do eventually?
Okay.
And whatever it is, after the podcast, we'll just type it out and pin it to our Discord server so we can see it later.
That's a smart. All right.
I got the ideas. I'm a genius.
Yes, you are. You are wonderful. And now I'm going to...
Oh no! I just unplugged my headphones.
Oh, let me know when you're back. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
The cable can unplug from my headphones, and when I beat it in my chest, it just unplugged.
Excellent. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the random generator. What will it be that we'll talk about next time? It is... Oh, hell yeah! One of my favorite movies of all time. We're talking about Tron Legacy. Yes! Oh. I'm just gonna put that in the chat and pin it right now.
There we go. Alrighty. So now should we send each other the lists?
I believe it is the time to do the sharing of the lists.
The lists!
The lists!
My friend sent me a photo.
Ooh.
It's a cliff jumper.
Nice. I almost bought that cliff jumper last week, but I was like, why would I buy him just to go ahead and pack him? Alright, tell me what the hell Doom Footband is.
Oh, it's supposed to be Doot?
Oh.
See, there's an ongoing joke that because the original Doom songs were MIDI files, you can change the instruments on them. So one of the jokes is you change the guitar to a trumpet, and you get Doots.
Ah.
So if you want to click the link and listen to it real quick, it's hilarious. But because one of the enemies in Doom is a skeleton with 2 rocket launchers on his shoulders, often the joke is you just put the trumpet in his mouth and he's the one playing it.
Ah.
And so a person made an animation forever ago of the first track in Doom called E1M1, where you had the skeleton trumpet player, a cacodemon playing a drum kit, which is the big meatball floating thing in Doom, and then Hell Knight playing like one of those like blowing into a jug kind of things. And this one they still do it, but they added another enemy to play the kick drum because the cacodemon doesn't have legs.
Yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty based. I like it.
I like how the Hell Knight just slowly over the course, because there's no time for him to breathe, because it's electronic music. It doesn't matter. It's just slowly turning purple.
Yeah.
So dudes.
Doodly dude.
Let's see, I gotta ignore all the wrestling on your thing because we talked about wrestling already.
Yeah, I might not put that on there next week. Or next time.
Yeah. So, this is something we both watched. The Animorphs lecture.
Yeah! I'm so glad you watched it too! Animorphs sounds fucking insane, bro!
I fucking love it. Real quick, I'm not a big fan of majority of like PCP content. It's just not my thing. But I fucking love the lectures.
You know what? I just realized as you were saying that, I'm to the PCP what a hardcore WWE fan is. I keep watching them just because it's what I've always done, and I can't bring myself to stop.
But, no, I watched the Animorphs fucking lecture. It was top notch. I also love how everybody was genuinely getting into it and nobody made jokes.
Yeah.
Like Munchie, who's a 19-year-old fucker. All 19-year-olds are fuckers.
Well, here's the thing. Since the last RadCon, he started to go to college, and I think it's mellowed him out a good bit.
He was still pretty fucking hyper in the goddamn Rad Fuckers Cop Killers. But also, I think
that was shot just
playing
before he went into college. That footage is actually pretty old.
But he's also like playing into his character in the game, so.
Mm-hmm.
But like everybody was genuinely asking interesting lore questions. Everybody was getting into it.
And Munchie keeps going like, wait, I thought this was just some goofy Power Ranger shit. Why is there like intergalactic warfare now?
And like every time it was the most like genuinely a wholesome thing. Tommy Oliver, who was doing the lecture, just pointed to his whiteboard and says, I forgive you. It's fine that you didn't get it when it first came out. I'm telling you now so you can.
Yeah. And like,
that's how we should be about media.
It totally worked. He said that they were starting to release them as audiobooks on Audible. I've put the first 8, which are all the ones that have actually been released, in my Audible wish list.
I mean, it sounds, because they're quick, cheap little, it sounds like a great little serialized audio drama to be following.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to getting into it.
But it was a lot of weird, interesting lore, and that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Visser 3 did nothing wrong.
Visser 3 might have done some things wrong.
Maybe a few things.
One or two. Yeah. A genocider, maybe.
Also, Tobias deserved better.
Tobias deserved a lot. All of them deserved better. Because by the end of it, he's just going like, yeah, Jake became a fucking shell of his former self and just a dutiful soldier. This character died. The main
girl died.
This character became really, really fucking sad. Marco is hiding all of his pain by going on to talk shows.
Tobias just got stuck as a bird and probably died after a couple months because birds don't have that long of a lifespan.
And then it ends with them going, oh yeah, by the way, another intergalactic war you're going to have to fight.
Remember, animals are cool, though.
Animals are the coolest.
What? This is the thing here, List. I look at just the titles of shit, and I'm like, I gotta know, what the fuck is a punk mambo?
Ooh, okay. Punk Mambo is a character from the Valiant comics of Shadow Man.
Okay.
Shadow Man is basically like voodoo related superhero. So
I've actually read one Shadow Man issue before. It was the first issue of probably the most recent ongoing, and I was so lost.
Yeah, he's a dude who's possessed by a Loa, which is like a African kind of major spirit thing, not like a god, but like a spirit. And he fights other evil Loas in New Orleans. And one of the characters that he confides in, he goes and talks to and gets advice, is a character known only as the Punk Mambo, who is a British punk rocker who looks about 20, but essentially came from like the original 1970s English punk scene, and through magic became immortal and gets high off of glue.
That sounds like some Grant Morrison ass shit.
But basically, the whole Punk Mambo one shot is just like a little quick side story where she realizes, oh wait, the fucker who kidnapped me and I basically observed for years in order to learn magic and escape is trying to get more magic power by trying to revive the punk scene that he used to capture people and steal their magic. I gotta go fucking stop him and like figure out what he's gonna do. She goes to the punk show he's doing, and it's shit. No one's liking it. It's a bad band, and she goes like, okay, cool, I don't have to worry about that. There's not going to be a revival of the scene. Cool. And she meets the dude, and he's going like, hey, you're a magic person now. That's cool. And she just headbutts him and goes like, fuck off.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, she's cool.
Nice.
All right. I see you you listened to some Gorillaz. Some new Gorillaz.
I did. I went on like a whole just musical weird rabbit hole bangarang on Monday. And ended up going on like a good few Gorillaz songs. Apparently you say these are new ones. I literally couldn't tell because it just sounds like the stuff we listened to from that first album, but slightly better. And it's good. It's Gorillaz. There's cool animation. There's cool character designs. I can't tell what the fuck is supposed to be happening in the story because I don't have you to guide me. But I liked it.
Yeah, I think Trans and maybe Rhinestone Eyes were on the Now, where the leader of the Gangrene Gang replaced the bassist and became the bassist for an album.
Yeah, he was in those videos.
Yeah, legitimately, that's the character from Powerpuff Girls.
Excellent.
Like in canon.
Excellent.
And Stylo comes from Plastic Beach, where basically the story of that album was the Gorillaz convinced a bunch of celebrities to come to an island made of trash that they turned into a studio to make an album, all the while running away from a bad guy while they were working with a cyborg copy of the main guitar playing girl, Noodle, while she was escaping danger and trying to get to the island with the rest of her friends. And Russell was a giant kaiju.
Okay. That song was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, all of fucking Gorillaz is banger.
Mm-hmm.
And their new songs are pretty good too on the Song Machine that they're releasing.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So I see you read a miniseries about the beloved anime character Rei Ayanami.
What the fuck are you making a joke about?
Evangelion, the girl with the blue hair, her name's Rei Ayanami.
Yeah. Oh, Rai! Fuck. That's... okay. To explain... Okay, you're not far off. It is in Japan, and there is a girl with blue hair in it.
Holy shit.
Okay, so Rai takes place in Neo Japan in the year 4001.
Sold.
And it stars a character named Rai, who is basically like 90% nanites and 10% human, as he does the bidding of an AI keeping the city afloat above the decimated lands of Earth called Father. And Japan, at the beginning of the story, Japan has had its first murder in 1,000 years. So Rai has to go figure out what's going on, and he runs into this girl.
Wait a minute, where was this published?
2014?
Oh my god. New IDW Transformers ripped this off.
Probably. But basically, new murder, all that kind of stuff. Rai has to go solve it. He teams up with a young, regular citizen, and she goes like, hey, I really fucking love, really love watching you do what the shit you do. Like, it's really cool. It's dope. So I just want to help you out. And so she does, and she gets wrapped up into it. And basically, Rai learns, first things first, he's not a pure robot, which is what he thought he was. He's actually part human. And he had a mother who was tormented and discarded, and who was the person who he found murdered.
Dope.
So he's figured that out. And basically, there's this whole sect of people who are like, fuck all this modern technology. Fuck you. We don't want to live under Father. And they basically go like, yeah, no, he's been lying to you. He's kind of an asshole. And so Rai goes and meets up with this other character called Spylock, who's been helping him out a little bit, and the girl he's worked with, and basically goes like, all right, we're going to kill Father, and I need your help. And that's the end of these 4 issues. And basically, like, it is... He doesn't wear shoes, but he has pants, and he has the pants that have, like, the loop on the bottom so you can still see the toes and the heel. He's shirtless, but he has, like, a giant Japanese, like, imperial sun coming out of his chest. He has katanas. It's pretty cool. It is very weirdly glossy art. Like,
I'm just absorbing this and taking it in.
Yeah. Hold on. Because, like, it is very weird glossy art. Don't like that one. Don't like that one. I'm trying to get a good one. Boop, boop, boop. Save this image and send it to you. Boop, bop, skilly boop, boop. That's what Ryan looks
I know
like.
this boy.
Yeah, that boy.
I've seen this boy in comic shops.
Yeah. It's good so far. But I've only read the first 4 issues. Because I'm reading Valiant in chronological order.
Because you're insane.
Yep. Did you really just put the Kane fucking insurance theme on this list?
Is that what that is?
Slow Chemical?
That's what that is?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought I recognized it. Okay. That was just part of my weird music trance I went into Monday night.
Hold on.
Because here's how it started. I watched SmackDown, and I went, oh, Jeff's got his old No More Words theme back. I've never actually listened to that in full. Let me listen to that in full. This is pretty good. Oh, it's suggesting something else. It looks like it's similar. I'm just going to let autoplay go on. And then I did that for 4 hours. Oh my god, that's exactly what it is!
That's the entrance theme for Kane. You're so much of a wrestle fuck that you don't even realize that happens when listening to his wrestling.
Oh, COVID.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
It just felt natural to me. Like, just let me list off some of the other stupid shit I listened to on this night. You have Metelligus by Alter Bridge, The Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin, Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana, which is actually pretty based, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, which is also very based, Trans Silo Rhinestone Eyes, Spitting Out the Demons by Gorillaz, No More Words by End Ever After, One of a Kind by Breaking Point, Whatever by Our Lady Peace, Burning My Light by Mercy Drive, which, yeah, that's one of Randy Orton's themes, Just Close Your Eyes by Story of the Year, Slow Chemical by Finger 11, This Is Absolution and My Curse by Killswitch and Engage, and When Two Are One by Atreyu. This was a fucking weird night, but I had fun.
That is a fucking 2000s ass fucking damn.
The reason I kind of let it happen.
Are you ready to drink some brewskis, listen to Papa Roach, and do some kickflips in Tony Hawk's Underground 2?
Yeah, man, I totally was. I was just transported back to listening to the radio when I was 10. It was awesome.
See, here's the thing. I'd shit on your music taste, but you don't have a music taste.
My music taste is whatever my mood is. Like, I tend to gravitate towards synthwave, but occasionally I'll just go, let's put on this stupid bullshit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You can always make fun of me for listening to ska.
Yeah, but I don't like picking low-hanging fruit.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yes, sir. There's something on this that I actually have read. How'd you feel about Oblivion Song?
It's pretty good so far. I was digging it, and that's when I kind of started on the giant indie comic tidal wave. The list has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the indie pile.
Yeah. Like, alright, well, if that's all you have to say about Oblivion Song, then twofer. Tell me about Luther Strode.
I'm real quick on Oblivion Song, I'm only like 2 issues in.
Okay.
So that's why it's just like, it's just all set up. That's all I've been reading.
Yeah, I only got 3 issues in, and then I was like, I'll read the rest of this in trade, and I still haven't gotten back to it.
But I really like Invincible, and Robert Kirkman's pretty good. I don't think I'll ever get into Walking Dead, but his other shit I'll probably really enjoy. Luther Strode, it's a 3-part series of each one having 6 issues. Okay. Luther Strode is one of those books that's basically telling one of the best Superman stories without being about Superman.
Huh.
Okay. So Luther Strode is a tall bean of a dude in high school, and he orders one of those like pump yourself up Hercules books. Okay. And he starts practicing what's in the book. And he starts getting pretty buff. He gets pretty strong. Not just pretty strong, like super strong, like superhero strong. And like his buddy's going like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. And he like gets the girl and they start going out. And it's like, yeah, my life's pretty good right now. Then this bald fucker comes in and goes like, hey, by the way, the powers you got are meant for murder. You're meant to murder people because these powers are derived from Cain. You know the Bible, dude?
I mean, Luther Strode literally sounds like a serial killer name, so...
But basically he goes like, yeah, we're just a group of guys who just thinks the world is just meat and we can do whatever we want and we want to kill people. And Luther goes like, no, I'm a good boy. Fuck you. And they fight. And a building collapses on Luther. And when it was just that, it's just like the tragedy of you don't always get what you want. Be careful what you wish for, but try and be a good person no matter what kind of story. Then the second one comes out. He survived. Luther Strode survived. And well, the group of people that the librarian was a part of basically go like, all right, he's not going to join us. We need to do the thing we always do, which is capture him and lock him away. Because they do that to the best killers. And he's a really damn good killer. It's very much of like, oh shit, you killed people. That's beautiful. We want to protect you. But it's not like save you from yourself. It's very much, we're going to tie you up in chains and put you underground and just like only bring you out to kill people. And the way they do that is they bring out Jack the Ripper to kill people.
As you do.
Because Luther Strode has basically been acting like a vigilante in town, just killing criminals. And basically he runs into the old girlfriend who basically goes, shit, you ruined my life. Fuck you. And then he goes like, yeah, but I'm just trying to be better. And like through the course of the story, they fall back in love and start dating again. And like they fight Jack the Ripper and they win, they save the day, all this kind of stuff, and they run away. And then the next bit, it's been like 5 years. They're in the middle of a forest and they're just like fucking on the reg. They're just in the forest, just hanging out, doing all that kind of shit. And then on the news, they go like, oh shit, more people with powers. We got to go fucking fight them. And the entire book is Luther going like, I don't want to fight you. Will you stop killing people? And if they go, no, he fights them. If they say, yeah, I'll try, he usually lets them go. And is like the whole point of it is like he's trying to find Cain so he can finally put an end to Cain, who's the guy who like starts all this shit. So he runs into a pair of like twins, and they like they're not twins. They're one of them's adopted because they fuck. And he basically fights them because they go like, no, we like killing people. Then he runs into this gunslinger dude who used to be a slave because, oh yeah, by the way, these muscle powers make you immortal. And he basically goes like, yeah, no, I just like kill people who are like shit. And Luther goes like, you know what? I respect that. Keep fighting. Can you just tell us information? He goes like, yeah, sure. Yeah, go this way. And he's like, all right, cool. See you later. That's it. That's the whole conversation. That's it. And all the while, we have Delilah hanging out with Luther Strode and the girlfriend. Delilah from the Samson legend.
Oh.
Yeah. She has the powers too.
Okay.
So they go to Cain, and basically Delilah betrays them. And Luther's going like, you don't really mean that, because if he did, you'd kill us already. You would have tried to kill us before you actually care about us, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to like fight through all the minions and go like, you know what, fuck, like we can be better. And the ultimate point of it is yes, you may have done some bad things, but you can always try and do better. It's basically that very Superman idea. Is like, you have the power, do good with it. And he basically beats Kane, the first murderer, with that mindset. And him, Delilah, and the girlfriend basically go like, all right, cool. There's more people like us out there in the world. If they fuck up, we're going to beat them. So we can help protect other people. And it's like, hell yeah. It's really good. Art's also fantastic.
Nice.
Hold on. Let me get you some art real quick, because it's like, you will recognize the art from the artist. Like, you have seen art from this dude, but I can't remember the dude's name.
I definitely do recognize that. Don't know where from.
But that's Luther Strode. It's a really good comic. I fucking loved it. So let's go back to your list.
Sorry about that. I had a thing.
No, that's fine.
Oh shit! It is your turn.
Yeah. We already talked about that.
About that?
I'm going from your list bottom up. So we talked about Miz and Morrison. We talked about Brody Lee.
Well, we talked about that off. Well, we talked about Brody Lee on mic, but we talked about Miz and Morrison off mic. Basically, Miz and Morrison showed up and did goofy shit on the Major Brothers podcast this week, and it was hilarious.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Let's see. We also talked about Ziggy Dice off camera, off mic.
Yeah. Kudos to Chris Van Vliet. With Steve Carino coming out here and canceling a bunch of bookings, Van Vliet's been like, hey, everybody who's got some time and a webcam, email me. We're going to do a live chat, ask me anythings on my channel. I'll be the moderator, and any super chats we get, that goes directly to you guys. And anybody who's already lined up for an interview, you can do one of those, or you can just say we'll do the interview at a later date. And anyone else who wants in, let me know. I'm going to try and do one every day of the week. And so he's done a ton so far. I've only listened to the Mike Rome and Ziggy Dice ones, and I also listened to his Eddie Homicide interview, which came out just before this happened. All very based interviews. Eddie Homicide comes off as a super driven, hardworking, smart guy who's just got a lot of spunk and also knows how to both be very serious and very funny. Like, he ended the interview by saying, yo, New York, represent, MJF, what's up, you Long Island piece of shit? And Ziggy Dice was just like, he had his room or his office or wherever he was broadcasting from made up to look like a bomb shelter, and he was like, yeah, I'm hiding out from the coronavirus, but fuck it, nobody can stop me. Even this virus can't stop me. I love licking shit. I'm gonna lick everything. Look, here's me licking my title. Also, I'm a good boy, and I really love working with disabled kids. I do that a lot, and I really want to be involved with the Special Olympics one day. Also, here's goofy stories about me skipping out on vacations with my wife to go to bookings. Seth Rollins trained me. Now I'm going to lick my title some more. And then Mike Rome, like, it's such a night and day from the other two. But I wouldn't say it was bad. It's just he comes off like a very different guy. Like, he's very good at what he does. He's very professional. But in his private life, he's a total dude bro nerd.
As like most wrestlers are.
Like, he literally gets asked at one point by someone in the chat and says, Tommy Oliver is the best Power Ranger ever.
Oh, it's hilarious when people are wrong.
Yeah. But
Tommy Oliver is the best member of the PCP, though.
Yeah, he's pretty based. But good times on the old Van Vliets.
Yeah, Chris Van Vliet is good people.
He is very good people. And I'm going to say that we should finish out here with you telling me what happened in FF this month.
Ooh, boy. Okay. Basically, they're back from the planet where all the people go like, "You fucked over our lives," and they brought the soulmate of Johnny Storm with them. She goes like, "Yo, you're my scientific soulmate. I need to come with you." So they're back on Earth, and all of the Fantastic Four's families going like, "So Johnny has an alien girlfriend now," and the rest of the Fantastic
This is nothing new.
Yeah, the rest of the Fantastic Four is just going like, yeah, we don't know how long this is going to last, but like she says they're soulmates or something, whatever. And like Johnny and her are going like, it's awkward between them right now. But basically, Johnny's college roommate calls him and says like, hey, I need your help. And they go to his tribe and goes like, hey, I'm here to help. And he goes like, I thought you were going to bring the whole Fantastic Four. And he's like, what? Well, I thought you needed my help. I was like, yeah, I do need your help. But everybody would have been nice because essentially a couple of moloids who lived underneath their tribe are trying to escape the rule of the mole man. And the Native American tribe basically go like, hey, wait a second. You've been part of this land almost as about like even longer than we have. Like, yo, dude, you're our brothers. And so they are welcomed in the tribe and they're above ground just hanging out with all this Native American dudes.
That's kind of fucking dope.
It's really wholesome. But the mole man comes up and goes like, bitch, you took my slaves. And everybody's going like, fuck you, mole man. And so Sky, the alien winged girl, and Johnny's friend with a bunch of guns fight off the mole man until eventually they get to a point where they have an agreement, and the mole man goes like, fuck it, whatever, have the moloids. They can just be with you guys, whatever. I won't fight. Yeah. And it was really cool because it was just like, yeah, you know what? It is dope to see people in the Marvel Universe just treat other species like people.
Mm-hmm. Like, that Fantastic Four run sounds like it would be really up my alley. I gotta get to it at some point. And it also makes me think that just like, you really need to check out some of the more recent Ant-Man family stuff. Like, I really think you'd enjoy both Astonishing Ant-Man and Unstoppable Wasp. Like, I'm gonna have to buy you those trades at some point.
Probably.
Yeah, we're pretty much out of stuff now, and we've been going for nearly an hour and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. That'll do it for this episode of Analytical Fanboys. Chris, tell everybody who you are and where your shit's at.
Hi, I'm Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. I make stuff on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube at Boingo Writer. You can also find me on Twitter, which I barely use, at Boingo_Writer, and on Instagram, which I use more if I went out of the house more, at Boingo_Writer. And you can join my Discord server at the link in the description. And here is a panel featuring the Moloids and some of the tribe.
I like how they all just look like Asian bros chilling out.
Here's the thing. I got that photo from like a tweet, and the person's going like, the Moloids joining a Native American tribe is also deeply, deeply uncomfortable to other people, right? Like, what the fuck? No. Like, they were both on the land. Like, what the fuck does it matter?
People just don't like Dan Slott. People be hating. It's not good.
I genuinely think that's pretty wholesome, you know?
Yeah, I like it. It's based.
Because
you know what else is based? Chris's videos. Go check them out. Go watch them.
If I made more.
And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel, even though I'm about to go on hiatus due to a move. Yeah, by the time you listen to this, I will already be on hiatus. But hey, my collection tour video just came out as of this recording. And I'm about to drop an April Fool's Day video that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy. I worked pretty hard to get it right, and I think I nailed it, and I'm real proud of it. So I hope it doesn't flop, but if it does, who gives a fuck? Yeah, you can check that out at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. You can keep up with me on social media by following me at The Vacuuminator on Twitter and Instagram. And you can keep up with this podcast by hitting the subscribe button, ringing the bell to enable notifications, and you can listen to it on the go by downloading the MP3s from the Google Drive folder that is linked in the video description. You can also keep up with updates on the show, which you're going to want to do, given that we might be going on hiatus here real quick. Go to the Twitter. It's at The Modular Media. And join our subreddit, r/modular media. But that's going to do it for now. We will see you next time when we'll be discussing Tron Legacy.